Hey guys, it's Cassie from And Other Lovelies, and I thought it might be fun to pop on here and give you a peek at what I've been working on this year in my 2020 Project Life album. So I switched over to 9x12 this year and am trying out weekly. I have so many cards, so many products, and really wanted to give Project Life a little bit more focus and emphasis this year. And my word for the year is possibility. So I've switched over to these little 3x3 squares and have just been having a good time filling this in as the weeks have gone on. As you'll see as we flip through here, there are a lot of gaps and I am pretty behind in my overall documenting. But I wanted to show you kind of what I've been up to. See here you can see a spread where there's just a lot of my favorite cards but no pictures yet. The process of cutting down and organizing product, matching colors together is really therapeutic for me, and especially just with all the uncertainty through the last few months, it's been really helpful for me to just sit down with my supplies and organize, play with paper, repurpose product, and just kind of get things in here as placeholders for the year. I'm really loving using the weekly indicators. I like having that one spot a week that I already know is filled. And then the other thing that I've been doing consistently are the Are You Kristen, the Awesome Ladies Project Currently cards. These are a free download that she has. And so I've been trying to fill them out every week. I haven't gotten all the weeks, but I'd say there's more weeks than not. So as you can see, all of these squares here are 3x3. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a ton of 3x4 Project Life cards that are the original rounded corner cards from, the Becky Higgins kits and other cards that I've just had in my stash for years. And so what I did when I decided to make the switch to the 3x3 album is I've just been going through that old stash and cutting down my cards. And I wanted to share with you guys a product that I received just this past week. It's from a great company that does organization supplies, and they sent me this really cute little trash can. It pops open when you push on it, and then you can close it. They also sent me some really fun little bags that are bright pink that you can put in there. I just didn't do that because it's paper products, so it's easy to dump it into my larger trash can. But I've just been using this. It's easy to take with me if I'm sitting and doing this while I'm watching television, or I also just stick it on the top of my Raskog, and it fits because it's so tiny. So great for small spaces. It'd also be really good in a bathroom, like if you had it on your makeup counter when you're getting ready for cotton balls, that sort of thing, to collect your trash. So what I thought I'd show you today is just what my approach has been to kind of repurpose my rounded corner cards that just really aren't my favorite anymore. Both the 4x6 rounded and then also the 3x4 rounded. So really simple process, but something that I've enjoyed doing. Like I said, it's something that I can do when I am just sitting and watching television, is taking these cards and repurposing them. I love being able to give products a new life, and this is a card that I would totally use in my album. I love the geometric pattern, and by just simply chopping off the top and bottom, it kind of gives a new life to it. So as you know, I'm sure there's so many duplicates in packs like this. So I just have been going through and grabbing, one of them out and then just chopping it down. And some cards work better than others. Some really aren't able, because of the design, able to work in the 3x3 format. But it totally gives it a new life. So just being able to do that, trash things away, and then the extra cards, whether or not I choose to use them, or sometimes I just pack them up to sell them. Like here's an example where I can't cut this down and preserve the sentiment with the rounded corners. So that would just go in the stack. But then I've got this really nice ombre, and if you can tell there, that one has some dotted lines on it. So I am going to cut this one down, because this would be a great journaling card. So to make sure that it's centered, I just cut off 1/2 inch from both the top and the bottom. And then now I've got that lined ombre card. Here's one with a lipstick. I don't know if I can really get this one to work, but let's try it out. So I'd love to hear in the comments below, do you have any things that have kind of been giving you comfort as maybe you haven't felt in the creative mood? For me, something as simple as cutting down cards or reorganizing. I spent time color coding my sequins, for example. It's just a really therapeutic practice when maybe I haven't been feeling as sparked creatively just with all of the things that are going on in the world. So I would love to hear in the comments below if you have kind of craft adjacent tasks or things that you like to do that kind of fill you up creatively without, you know, having that pressure of maybe creating a page or documenting more formally in, you know, Project Life or Scrapbooking album. So this has been my approach just with the 3x4 cards, switching them down to 3x3. And then I've also been doing the same thing with 4x6 cards as well. So let's see, like here's an example where we've got this live in the moment sentiment. With a card like this, I would cut it down to 3x4 instead, just like this. And I would put a card like this in my album and maybe do a date stamp right here or a small label. And then that way this card has the square corners, which maybe that doesn't bother you, but I really like the look of that instead. See if I can find another one that would be a good example. This one's really pretty. So with this, I'm just lining it up pretty close to the 3 mark. This doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but now see how those cards would go so nicely together. With the offcuts like this, I did play around at one point with chopping them down and rounding the corners and kind of making little labels. This would definitely be an option if it was a pattern that you really loved. For example, like here's some that I saved from the Midnight collection. So just rounding those corners, then that creates a really great journaling spot that could be adhered onto a card, just like this. Or you could do it, let's see, you could do it like that. That would look really nice. So if your stash is smaller and you don't want to say goodbye to those scraps, you could keep them and repurpose them into a label shape. Something like this would work really well. Yeah, so I would love to hear how you guys are doing. I know this year 2020 has not been what any of us imagined. I got engaged at the start of February, actually mid-February, and jumped into wedding planning and all of that, and now just with all the uncertainty has definitely been a challenge. So I would love to hear just how you all are doing. I know 2020 has not been the perfect year for anyone, and I hope that this hobby is bringing you joy. If you have any questions about my general process or organizing all of these goodies, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll also have a link to this really cute little trash can in my description. They gave me a 30% off coupon, so it drops the price of this to just $14 on Amazon. So great steal here if you're looking for a small storage solution to store your trash. And lastly, the other thing I'll share is where I've been putting these cards. So I got this little container organizer from, I believe it was Home Goods, and I've just been storing my 3x3 and 4x4 square cornered cards in this. So these would go just right over here. And the little 3x3s are being stored here. So as I said, this just gives life to the cards in a brand new way. These are old Studio Calico cards. You may have these designs in your stash, but by cutting them down, there's a Heidi swap. It just gives them new life, and I'll be much more likely to use them in my 2020 album because I'm using those square page protectors. So I hope this inspires you to give your stash a new life. And if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And again, I'll link this little guy down there as well. I hope you guys have a great week, and thanks for jumping in, and I'll be back soon. Bye.